You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, replacing missing teeth with dental implant. My first guest has a lot of experience. In fact, he is the go-to person in Massachusetts for implant dentistry. We've had him on the program, I think 5 years ago the first time. He's brought some photos, and he told me in the green room, he said, Randy, if you had no teeth or the worst teeth, tomorrow you can get it done. If I had a room on the schedule, walk out with upper and lower teeth that don't come out. With us, we have Dr. Jason Tubo. Dr. Tubo, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Randy. It's good to be back.
You did tell me that.
I did tell you that. I did tell you that.
Somebody watching today, the worst teeth.
Right.
If they met you today, how soon could get their teeth?
If I meet you today, as long as there's room in the schedule, it is absolutely feasible for me to have you in permanent teeth on implants tomorrow.
Okay, good. Sounds like an exaggeration.
It's not.
I'll take your word for it. A lot of it is because what? You have like this in-house laboratory?
So we do, and that's what's unique about our practices and our approach, is that I actually have a commercial grade laboratory in the practice. I have full-time lab technicians and master ceramists who work with me, and so I don't have to send anything outside of my office to be made.
That's how it's typically done?
That's how it's typically done.
Okay.
So it's usually sent out by mail, actually. And so, you'll have molds taken in a practice. We don't use molds anymore. We use 3D scanners. We do everything digitally. But classically in a dentist's office, you're going to have molds taken. They send the molds out in the mail. You have to wait for the product to come back, and everybody crosses their fingers that it's the right color and that it fits. In my practice, we have total control over that sequence. We have the equipment, not just for making the temporaries, but actually when the time comes to make a permanent restoration as well. All of that is done supervised by myself, my expert technicians. They love what they do. They actually love to get to know our clients. Okay. That's unique because usually, when a dentist sends something off to their laboratory to make something very personalized and tailored for your smile, the technician never actually meets the person. And in my practice, almost everybody gets to meet the technicians, and the technicians are...
The people making the teeth.
The people making the teeth are, they are just as emotionally invested in seeing those lives changed as the rest of us are.
Now tell me this, because you're actually in the other room, you're digitally printing and milling these teeth in the other room.
Right.
Is that right?
That is
how
correct.
It works?
It is. And so we will take 3D scans, and so we'll take a 3D X-ray, and then we'll take 3D digital impressions. And so we never have to put impression material or putty in anyone's mouth ever again. And that's something we talked about actually on one of our last shows, right? Was that no more impression material ever.
Like it's like what, like a camera wand that goes in their mouth?
Exactly, yeah. A little bit larger than a pen. And yes, it goes in, and it's just, it takes thousands of 3D pictures, and it creates a very, very detailed, that actually, it's superior to classic impression material, and creates a 3D model of exactly what's there. My full-time CAD designer, Yohan, is in the room next door. He takes those scans. He begins designing the new smile based on photos and a conversation that we've had. I want to learn, what do you want your smile to look like? We spend a lot of time listening to, what do you want? How do we get you to that place where you're happy with what you see, happy with how things look, feel, and work? And so he's going to be at work designing that on these very powerful computers. And we'll then proceed with placing the implants during that procedure. And our 3D printers go to work based on Yohan's design. And here we are, making it right there.
Now, 5 years, I had you on the show about 5 years ago. Correct. What's changed since then?
So much has changed since then. We're in a different universe compared to 5 years ago.
Okay.
The biggest thing that I think has changed is I have a deeper appreciation for how this changes our clients' lives.
How so?
This is every one of the photos that I'm going to show you today. Every single client has sort of the same story. Everyone says once it's done, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I wait until I had this done? A lot of times there are reasons for why. It might be, I wasn't ready to see the dentist, or maybe it was something didn't hurt yet. So there might have been these things that prompted them to finally come see me. But hands down, the most common thing that I hear at the end is, one, it was well worth the money. I would do it again if I had to do it again. And two, why didn't I do this
Is it usually
sooner?
something that happens? They're getting married, they're getting a divorce, daughter's getting married. Do they do this for occasions, or they do it because they've just finally had enough?
Sometimes there's an occasion which is like this precipitating event, which is, now is the time to act. I want to, I know we're going to have some big family photos. My smile is going to be locked into the time capsule here, and so they want this pretty smile in time for. And that's where the beauty of our systems is especially useful when we're in a time pinch, because it is not common that I see someone on one day and then I'm doing the procedure the next day. I'm saying that it is feasible. We have done it. We need time. It's better to call ahead of time, right? Get
typically
scheduled.
You'd want to, you meet them on a consult. Then you have a second meeting, I guess, where you take measurements and do all that stuff. And then the third meeting could be where they get their new teeth.
Correct.
Is that typically how it would go?
It's usually actually the first meeting we do a consult. And if we know this is what we want to do, it's as soon as the second visit. If we're still not sure on what the plan should be, for example, sometimes, we don't just replace teeth with implants, we also fix teeth. So we do a lot of porcelain veneers and crowns and restorations.
So you'll save teeth if you can?
We will save teeth. If we can, I believe if we can, we must, right? And so sometimes there are some decisions to make with the plan. Are we going to save these teeth? Are we going to fix them? Are we going to replace them? Maybe it's just the upper teeth need to be replaced and the lower teeth can be fixed. And so sometimes we're not ready to make that decision the first time we meet. That's usually the only time that we need that second appointment to determine, what's the plan. And so in that case, very complicated case, right? Or complex. That third visit is when we actually change your smile.
What do they like more? Do they like the way it looks, or they like what they could eat?
What's funny is that everybody sees how it looks, but I think in the end, people recognize that the difference, not just in eating, because function is so important, but their self-esteem, their confidence, they're not worried about a partial denture coming out. They're not worried about a denture getting loose. Their speech is improved. Certainly digestion is improved. They're able to chew better. They're able to enjoy more foods. It's not really that they can chew better. Certainly they can. It's the fact that they can enjoy a meal with their friends.
Right.
It's they can enjoy a meal with their family. They can go out to eat and they're not worried about, is something going to get stuck? Do I have to excuse myself, go to the restroom, clean up a partial denture, and then I can come back? Here it is. This is just my teeth. They work. They look great. There's a lot of peace of mind when your teeth are not on your mind.
Now, the most expensive part about this process, we joked in the green room. What is it?
Probably the takeout bill or the eating out bill, right?
You're going
to go out to the restaurant a lot. And so, you got to plan for that. That's the big expense with follow-up after we've done this. If you're accustomed to, sort of eating alone and eating in private, you won't be doing that anymore.
Now, is this true how it's typically done still, as of today's date, is it's done in 2 or 3 places? You go to one place that does the surgery, another place where they put the teeth on top, and then maintained elsewhere.
Correct.
You do both parts.
We do everything all in one facility. So it is, for 15 years, it has almost always been me doing the surgery exclusively. And over the course of this decade and a half, I've trained a number of my associates on doing the entire steps of the procedure. Okay. They're doing the surgery, we're doing the reconstruction, we're doing the teeth in the end. And then I also have some specialists who work with me as well. And everyone is trained under my direction. Okay. And so I won't bring in somebody to our practice, whether it's a doctor or whether it's one of our team members, if they don't really fit with our philosophy and putting the person first and doing the right thing and saving teeth when teeth can be saved. That's something that's unique. There are a lot of these dental implant chains out there all across the country, right? And all they do is dental implants and removing teeth, putting implants in, and they'll either put in like snap-in teeth or they'll sometimes do like
You're not a fan of these snap-in teeth?
No, I don't like them because patients don't like them.
Okay, why?
I did some earlier in my career, and there is a place where they can be helpful, but I do not enjoy doing this procedure, and it's something it's a personal thing. It's too much money and not enough happy. There's just not enough.
Because it's still what?
Good.
A denture?
It's still a denture. It still comes out. It still has some movement to it. It's worth more to put permanent teeth in your mouth than it is to do a snap-in denture, because in the end, the most expensive road that you can take is you go down the road of snap-in dentures. You find out, no, this doesn't work for me. This is not what I really wanted. And then you have to do permanent teeth anyway. And we're happy to help you walk that road.
Well, that's what people want anyway, right? Teeth that don't come out.
That's exactly what people want.
Your center, you guys, you draw, because I guess you have now offices spread throughout the state.
We do.
But you draw from what states?
And so, well, we draw from New Hampshire, from a little bit from Maine. We draw from Connecticut and Rhode Island. We actually draw a lot from North Carolina, a lot around the East Coast, believe it or not. We have now started attracting a fly-in, fly-out clientele. And so, I have a lot of clients who have seen us on the show here, or they've seen some of our other media, or they're on my website, they see the before and afters. And so I'll have clients who fly from 1,000 miles away to come see us. And especially because we have the control of those systems where we're also doing the laboratory work in the office. The timeline is so much more accelerated and the control is so much more focused that we're able to produce an exceptional result in a very short period of time. And so that attracts those that say, hey, I can fly from North Carolina to go see my dentist, have this procedure done. They spend maybe 2 nights in a hotel, they go home, and they might fly up for a couple of follow-ups after that.
And it's still faster than if you had to go to another office
Yes.
where it might be 20 visits.
Correct.
And I'm not trying to side with you, right? I mean, look, we've had the program for 24 years. Interviewed my first implant dentist, and I've heard of these changes.
Sure.
But and look, people need to know. I'm not trying to side with you. I'm just asking the questions. But would you consider yourself doing this at the highest level?
Absolutely.
With technology and things like that?
That's our team's philosophy. Is anything that can be done, we can do it better. Anything that we do,
you believe this?
We believe it.
Okay, good.
And this is what makes us excited about going to work. This is what makes us excited about being part of these lives changed. It's exciting for us to participate in that. I've taught my team. We try not to even have the mindset. It's not us that's changing someone's life. It's when when they finally make that decision, they say, I'm going to call. Now's the time. And they pick up the phone. That they changed their life by saying, it's time to do this.
Are you ever on a consult and you're hearing their hard luck story and you can't help but think they have no idea how good this is going to be? Like they think it's just teeth, right?
Yeah. That's actually very common. And that's hard, I think, from our perspective as the doctors and as the team. We know the amazing transformative value of this procedure. We see it. And a lot of times our clients need to trust and believe that this really is going to change their life, that it really is as good as we say that it can be, that we really can deliver on this at that next visit.
Is it always better than what they thought it was going to be?
Yes, always.
Like they come back and tell you, man, this is really good.
That is what, because when we do snap-in dentures, or when we used to, that was not the case. It was like a 50-50.
Because adjustments have to be made.
Adjustments, and it was like, oh, I thought it was going to be better than this. But when we do permanent teeth on implants, 100% of the time, this is better than I thought it was going to be.
Now, this name of yours, fixed. We're talking about fixed. That means upper and lower teeth that don't come out.
Correct.
Is that what fixed means in your world?
Yes. And so in the dental world, fixed means permanent or non-removable. So these are teeth that do not come out. And then fixed in the non-dental world means obviously to fix. And so it has this sort of beautiful dual meaning. To dentists in the dental world, it means non-removable smile solutions, right? And to everybody else, and it has the same meaning for them. Most people don't come to me because they want implants. They want their smile. They want teeth. And so that's what we do using this technology, is that we'll give you your teeth back. We'll give you a smile.
Okay.
And so it's permanent teeth on implants.
Now, Medicare, Medicaid, the best dental insurance in the world doesn't really cover this at all.
They do not.
But you say people are financing this.
They are.
Is it really?
Really?
Common?
It is most common to finance it. There are lots of different ways. You can work with a third-party financer, like the Care Credits of the world. We can work with oftentimes a credit union. I have a lot of clients that will actually use like a home equity line of credit, and I have others that they've saved up for this. They knew that this was coming. They're prepared, and they're ready to personally finance.
Now, because you're doing it at the highest level and you do it all right there, and you say it's not more to go to you. That
Right.
basically, when you compare apples and apples, it's about the same.
It is about the same. It's you know, I look at some of our competition, some of our neighbor dentists, and the fees are all sort of in the same range. It's expensive. It is. It is not covered by insurance. It's never going to be. And you know, we all wish that it was, but it's the reality of how it is.
Does anybody ever say after it was all done, I shouldn't have spent that kind of money on this?
No.
Really?
In fact, I have I've been keeping a collection of videos, which I'm excited to put on our Instagram, of a bunch of my clients at the end, and I'll ask them this question, and I'll say, you know, if this just disappeared, would you do it again? Would you spend the money again? And 100% of the time, the answer is yes.
That's good.
Because that's the difference. Is now that it's been complete. Now they understand the value because they've experienced the value of what this is, of how this changes their life. And you can't go back once you've experienced that. And they look back, and that's why you'll hear so many of my clients say, I wish I had done this sooner. I wish I didn't wait as long.
You say people hold on to their bad teeth, bad dentures too long.
They do, right? Yeah, sometimes it's because of fear. Sometimes it's because of this disbelief that it's really going to be that good. Sometimes it's because of the expense. It's a big investment to make, to not know and to not be able to experience until it's done how life-changing it is.
And they're all numbed up, and you do IV sedation.
We do, yeah.
And so you say they almost have very little memory of what happened.
Yeah,
in some cases.
In most cases, there's, well, it depends on how we do the surgery. And so I would say anytime we do IV sedation, anytime we do any kind of, there's no memory. You're not going to remember anything about the procedure. I have actually done these types of procedures for nearly 10 years, using almost exclusively local anesthesia without having to sedate anybody. And we're very good at making friends. And so, you know, they don't get to the end of the experience and they don't say, you know, this was awful. You know, I'm the dentist who is then also going to do the teeth after the implants and the permanent teeth after the temporary. And so if I lie to you, right, we're not going to be friends. You're not going to come back and see me. And so I often say, you know, our team, we're very good at making friends. But I found that was a barrier for some of our clients where they go, wow, you know, I'm nervous about the idea of a surgery or procedure. I would rather be sedated. And so we also have anesthesiologists who we work with right there in the office. And yeah, we'll make sure you have no memory whatsoever.
Now, we are short on time as usual. Every time you're on the show, a lot to say. Let's go through those photos, some of the photos.
All right. So here's Judy. She has an awesome story. Actually, there's a whole video of Judy talking about her whole smile transformation. You can see that on my website. But Judy, she had a partial denture since she was a teenager. She had a history of some bad dentistry, and she's one of these just lovely people.
So that's a partial. What I'm looking at right there.
What you're looking at, yes, in her before photo. Those front teeth, all four of those front teeth, and some of the back teeth come in and out, right? And so Judy is one of those stories where, you know, there's that anxiety of when I'm out to eat with friends, is it going to get loose? What if I lose it? I don't have front teeth. You know, if you don't have
what they tell you?
If you don't have a backup, well, you know, what if the dog gets it? What if you lose it? What if it falls out? All the what ifs. What if it breaks? Right? Then you don't have front teeth until a dentist can make a new partial for you. That's scary.
So partials are out as far as you're concerned.
Yeah. Partials are long gone. But Judy was. We have implants on the top. And we did permanent teeth on implants. So she walked out that same day as the surgery with permanent teeth on implants. And you look at the difference there in the photos of where she started with the partial and where she has the final here. So
it's a pretty smile for sure.
It's so pretty, and she's one of those lovely personalities. It's a video worth watching. She's cute as can be. Randy, you know, when you have partials, it's hard to eat. It's not just about it falling out. It's that it's plastic. It's flexible.
Like she can't eat an apple or bite an apple with her front teeth?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, no way.
Like salads are hard to eat as well?
Salad is actually one of those things that is especially hard to eat because, you know, those thin, papery, you know, leafy salad vegetables, are tough to actually get in there and actually grind and chew without having really strong, firm teeth. And so if a partial gives, salad's a no-go. Biting into anything with your front teeth is usually, you know, pretty high risk. It's plastic, and so you run the risk of breaking it when you do things with a partial that you would usually do with your teeth.
How soon could they eat after the procedure?
So, well, they can eat actually right away. It's a soft diet at first, for the first month or so. But once we're past that, you can go to Smith & Walensky across the street from the new practice.
Okay.
You can go order yourself a 2-inch thick steak, and you can have at it, even with the temporary bridge.
Okay. Now, you have multiple practices. People call your practice, and they find out the practice near them. Is that correct?
Right,
These fixed
correct.
practice. We're going to take a quick break. We come
Sure.
back, more about those photos. You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. We'll be right back.
Part of the reason why I got, dental work is because of the unhealthy lifestyle I lived for such a long time. It was about time that I, started thinking about the health of my teeth. I came across a video of Tubo, and I just knew that he was gonna be the guy. He was the scientist. He was like the Albert Einstein of dentistry. They pulled out all my top teeth, did 6 implants, and then placed the temporary bridge over, and it was great. It didn't hurt at all. Dr. Tubo is like one of these dentists where I feel like he can make possible what other dentists deem impossible. I don't honestly think there's a better dentist, at least around this area, or even in the country for that matter.
I have dealt with dental issues my whole life. I've always had cavities, fillings, problems. Over the years, my teeth had just, become terrible. No dentist was actually really able to help me until I found Fixed in Dr. Tubo. When I came here, he took the time to break down everything, really look into what I was dealing with, and was willing to do full implants, top and bottom, in order to give me something that was going to be a more permanent solution. He was willing to, take the time and the energy to make that happen for me. I don't have tooth pain anymore. I'm not anticipating the next toothache or the next problem with my teeth. I've never been more comfortable. It really has completely changed my life.
You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. We're talking about replacing missing teeth with dental implants. According to my first guest, Dr. Tubo, he says your teeth and gums are never too bad to have the smile you've always wanted.
That's
Dr.
correct.
Tubo, welcome back. And you said, now are the patients getting younger and younger, or older and older, or both? That are
That's
doing
right.
this?
It's both. This is a procedure that is for anyone who wants permanent teeth.
What's your oldest patient that has
Actually,
new
I have-
teeth supported by implants?
Oh, so this is not my oldest patient, but Morgan is pretty old. He's I'll give you his after photo. How old do you think that guy is?
I don't know. Late 80s.
So he's 93.
Okay, looking good.
93, permanent teeth on implants. The whole upper is done. We haven't done the lower yet. He wasn't sure if it was. He wasn't sure if it was going to be worth it. He wasn't sure if it was going to be life-changing at 93. I think it was at our first follow-up, about 2 weeks after the procedure. We already started talking about when are we doing the bottom.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
is what Morgan started asking.
That's nice.
and
So 93. Now, most
Yeah.
93-year-olds are on a couple of medications, 2 or 3.
Sure.
Can they be on medications like blood pressure medications, osteoporosis medications, and still do this?
Absolutely. We're going to go through your medical history. We're going to, we'll talk with your physician if we have to, but there are very few things that would ever exclude you from having this type of procedure done.
What's it like when they look at themselves in the mirror for the first time?
It is usually very emotional. It's exciting. It's emotional. There's a lot of disbelief. It is that moment of it really becomes real. It really has happened, and so that's it's an exciting time. We actually that event, that moment. I'm always in the room for any of the assistants who have been working that day, and my lab technicians who have been working on the 3D printers. Everybody wants to be there to actually see that moment because they've all had their hand in that reveal, in that result, and it's just one of those things that helps us to love what we do, and it gives a lot of meaning to the work that we do.
Now we talked, and we only have literally like a minute
Right.
left, but these young people, some people are taking medications that are drying out their gums. It makes them lose their teeth young, or they have genetic factors, or maybe even some drugs.
Right.
And you've developed somewhat of a reputation for handling these young people
Yes.
that have really, really bad rotted teeth.
Correct.
Is that right?
It is. And so there are a handful of just genetic conditions or environmental conditions. It can be some medications that might be prescribed, can cause some dry mouth, and they can just wreak havoc on teeth. Drugs, for example, can also wreak havoc on teeth. And what I find with a lot of our young clientele is that they've maybe gone to a dentist and the dentist has been somewhat rude. You know, they see their teeth and they assume they're an addict, or they assume they're not going to take care of their
or like
teeth.
judgmental? Is that
Very
what you're saying?
judgmental,
Okay.
yes. And I find a lot of our young clientele, you know, especially those who may have a history with addiction, there's sometimes some stigma in this judgment that goes along with it that even comes from doctors, their physicians or their dentists. You will not experience that in our practice.
Good. We're out of time.
Can I show you just one
Okay,
more?
one more. We'll have to go quick.
So here's John. John's great. John is implants on the upper, and actually we did porcelain veneers and crowns on his lower teeth. And so John's the perfect example of replacing teeth when they need to be replaced and saving teeth when they can be saved.
That
and
before is pretty bad. He walked around like that?
He did.
I'm not trying to be insensitive, but really, I mean, that's got to be unusual, or is that common? They just never smile.
It's very common. You just don't usually see that. You don't usually see that smiling, right?
That's a big difference with this guy.
It is. Yeah. Life-changing, right? And you can see when the beard goes away on the guys, a lot of times, you know, the guys will hide their teeth with the facial hair, right?
It's like he's handsome now on the after.
Yeah, he was handsome before, but now he's got the smile that matches the rest of him, too.
It's very nice. Final message. Somebody, maybe they've seen you over the years on interviews, on television, they Googled you, whatever, and they've heard what you have to say. They have current teeth that are so bad, or they're wearing a denture. What do you say to them? They're still skeptical, and they can't get themselves to do it.
Final message is call the office, talk to Erica, just see how the phone call goes first.
Okay.
Right? If you're not sure, we can't tell you what the cost for you is going to be on the phone, right? But we can start to figure that out when we see you, right? So come in for a consultation. If you know this is what you're going to do, you have an idea of what it costs, you're okay with whatever it costs, you just want the results, let's set up an exam, we'll do x-rays and scans, we'll get the process started when we meet. If you're not sure and you want to meet us first, you want to know if we really are the people we say we are, you want to know if the office is really as nice as we say it is, right?
Okay.
Come in, come visit, come see us, come meet us. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what you want. We'll talk about what's possible. That's how you find out. So it is call the office, talk to Erica, schedule an appointment, even just come in for a consultation. We'll make some time for you. It's 20 minutes, right? We'll sit down for 20 minutes and we'll brainstorm a little bit about what you want, what we can do.
And you'll even discuss financing on that appointment?
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. So
My pleasure.
You have all these before and afters on your website.
We do, and more.
They can make an appointment with Erica.
On our website, on Instagram, come check out, come look at our work.
Okay.
Come meet us.
Dr. Tubo, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Again.
All right.
You've been watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez for now. I wish you good health.